them back. Break them, lads. Break them. Greetings and welcome to episode 86 of my Empire Total War Darth Mod Great Britain campaign. And this, my friends, how we left it last time. We had a terrific fight here for Strasbourg. It was a huge fight, and it was a fight that may have very well changed the whole ethos, the whole dynamic here of this campaign, particularly here in sort of Central Europe. If you can remember, my friends, and it's hard to forget, it really is, it was a battle where we had 15,500 Polish troops against what effectively were two armies. One in particular was 2,500 men defending Strasbourg, the defences around Strasbourg. And at the end of that battle, there were at least 3 Polish army groups who were effectively eliminated from the battle map. Now, no matter the size of Poland you can see here, it's a vast empire, it really is. It's a titan. But even a titan cannot absorb losses of that magnitude and not feel it. Even though they've got all these reserves here, that was a real staggering defeat for the Polish. It really, really was. It really did send a message. We're not going to be pushed around here. Now, we've got a lot to decide here. The council's come with some wonderful advice. We've got a few things to tidy up around the edges, as it were. Things to organise. Now, as you can see, we have here still intact.
Yes, sir.
Field Marshal Ernich's army, which is an absolute elite army. It is packed to the rafters with elite forces here. It really is. Irish Rifles, Marines, we've got line infantry guards, we've got guards, we've even got horse guards, which is the royal, sort of the royal guards, as it were, the royal cavalry. We've got plenty here, royal cuirassiers as well. We've got cuirassiers, so we really have got some good fire support as well. The fire support was crucial in the last battle. As you can see here, this army did have quite a battle here, but it did come out of it not too bad at all, considering the sheer magnitude of the fight. It was huge. Now we've got 10,518 coming in here. That's not too bad at all. Tax income is just about paying for the army upkeep. The naval upkeep is quite staggering here, but we've got trade income here, which has dropped slightly. But we're sort of keeping ourselves on our toes here. But we've got Hanover here, which is sort of, Council has asked us to deal with this force here in Hanover. What we need to do really is to bring this army up here to full strength. It has been neglected, dare I say, for the last couple of years. Let's bring that up straight away to get them fully replenished. We've still got, because we've given Saxony to the United States here, and it's effectively pushed the Poles right back here. Will they cross into United States territory here? We don't know yet. But what it has done is it freed up an army group and an additional support army here, as you can see. Lots of firepower here to move against the Poles. Now, of course, the absolute rock here for the Poles in this particular central part of Europe is Munich. It is the key production centre here that is effectively going to replace the forces they lost. As you can see, Austria here got Venice as well, which we're at peace with, thankfully, but we've also got to deal with Spain. We'll deal with Spain in a moment. You do need to really bring up these forces back up to full strength. I think that should be our next task, because they have fought valiantly there, sir. 4,000. I think what we will do is we'll get ourselves a new general. Unfortunately, was injured, so we're not going to see the general there for a while, but we will recruit another general here to make sure we've got a full complement here, and they're well led as well. This force, again, as you can see, was involved in quite brutal fighting, but we've got to bring that force up as well to full strength eventually. 5,000, again, looks a lot, but it's worth it, because these forces are now combat hardened. Really are. Look at that. Look at the echelons here. These are absolutely elite veteran troops. Now, we do need 2 more regiments in here to really fulfill this up here. We might move some of these forces, perhaps the Royal Highlander Grenadiers, and perhaps some Life Guards into this to keep that sort of quality up, and then replace them with some new regiments here. Some new line infantry just to protect, just to make sure we've got this garrison fully occupied here. We do have an army here in Cologne, which is standing by. We're also built up this army here. Now, these armies here in Flanders here, these are being used to strike against Spain. As you can see, Spain has moved in here, and quite clearly they're going to be losing for Paris, and also here as well. This is a powerful strike force. Royal Cuirassiers, Swiss Guards, and here the Poles as well are joining the Spanish. I think we might bring these together. I think that's cavalry. That's wonderful.
Your Majesty.
Now this army here, look at that. Under General Lincoln, and also we've got another army here ready to strike in against the Spanish here. Might have set an ambush perhaps, but look at that. Under General Faramir here. That's an absolute wonderful force. We'll pull this army in here. We're going to move against Spain. Just going to pull these gentlemen up here as well.
Yes, sir. Your orders, Your
Let's
Majesty.
get the cavalry in.
Your Majesty.
Looking good there. That's excellent. Do need some more cannon.
Sir. Ready and awaiting orders.
Lots of light infantry. Don't want to pack it out with too much light infantry. We've already got quite a few here.
Orders, Your
We
Majesty.
might send these gentlemen as a reserve for this army group. I think what we do need here, we've got some lancers.
Your Majesty.
We've got 3 cavalry. We need more cannon. Get some rock. That's fixed artillery. Where do we get some rocket here? We might just try some rockets here. I know the accuracy isn't brilliant, but it can do a lot of damage. Let's get some trusty 24-pounders in the artillery and the howitzers. What else do we need here?
Sir.
So that'll give us 4. Here we got another 4 regiments. I think we'll go for some line infantry, which do have echelons here as well, which is excellent. Now that's going to be that army there, fully
Your Majesty.
ready to go. We'll move them here as well.
Immediately.
We'll have these as sort of reserve force that will move with this army group.
Forwards. March.
Got sharpshooters.
Sir. Your orders.
We've got plenty of those. We do need... Got quite a lot of light infantry in there, so we've got to be careful we don't overdo it with too much light infantry. Now, we've got that there, this force here in Brussels. That's a really wonderful army, the General Bishamonton here. Or Bishamonton, which we'll keep in reserve. We are going to strike the Spanish quite hard here. Now, also down in here in Naples, we are going to be hit pretty hard here by these Spanish forces. They really do have brought absolutely everything to the party here. We've also somehow, Poland has managed to sneak in 2 additional armies here. And quite a powerful navy as well, but they haven't started to harass. We've got a navy ourselves here.
Where to, Captain?
Powerful navy here ourselves.
Orders,
Let's just raid this this trade line again. Oh, that's more like it. Yes, that's more like it, sir. Now, the council has, and I did request the council's advice, do we move this force here in to support Naples? Overwhelmingly, the advice was yes, get it in to support Naples, and even try and push on and try and take Rome if possible. So if we can damage these forces here, we might be able to move in. We've got to be careful, though, of that Polish force. Now, let's prepare these men for their journey. Look at that. Oh, that's more like it. Now, can this ship make it back? Because we need the transport ships here. It can indeed. That's excellent. We've got a Polish force here as well. We're pretty much surrounded here by Polish fleets. We've got to be careful. Now, this force has made it in here to support these force here, so we do have a good chance here. We have to take this fight eventually. We can take Rome. That would be a real boon. Genoa. We are going to give Spain a real thrashing here. We've got this force here. Look at that. That's another force we've earmarked for Spain. Now we've got. We're hitting this trade line. Let's just reset ourselves here. Ooh, 31,000. We just for some reason have dropped that now. It doesn't matter. It's okay. We're hitting. We have hit Spain quite aggressively there. But we've got this really wonderful. We needed to deal with this here to open up this Bristol port. We've got to really have our eyes on every possible situation here. We cannot allow ourselves to be overwhelmed here. But we are going to move and try and take Stuttgart here. We've got these forces here, but that's quite an what we might, I'm not going to have a force there as well, so we might keep these two armies here. What we will do, look at this here, General Charles's army is extraordinary, so is General Jaden van Wyck force. We might use this force and Field Marshal Ernoch's force to take Stuttgart, leaving these two here to guard against in concursion here. We can also move in here. We're going to absolutely crush in these. What we're going to do is we're going to clear this entire flank here using these forces and move down with Munich, our ultimate goal. If we take Stuttgart, that's the first sort of the piece of the jigsaw, as it were. We'll use General Charles. We'll use General Jaden van Wyck here to move in to support this here. But our Field Marshal Ernoch taking the attack here. Stuttgart could be ours. Move into here.
By the left, march. Yes, sir. Sound the call to battle.
Will they surrender? That's refused. That's exactly what we want. We'll just continue the siege. Look at this. Look at that army here. It's an absolute monster, sir. Now we need. That's the army there. General von Wyck's army here. Actually, probably might be better to have General Wyck's army here because that's got the fire support. But then again, we really need to bring the Field Marshal into here. But then again,
settlement under siege. Your orders, Your Majesty.
You see, we've got the choice here. I'm just going to bring these up here. Actually, the forest here is good.
Your orders, Your Majesty.
They've got to get past here if they need to fight it, move in here. We've got these forces here which we're going to move in.
Your Majesty. Your Majesty.
Look at
that. At the ready. Your Majesty.
And these gentlemen being the tip of the spear here. We are going to move in against these forces.
By the left, march.
We'll just break the siege here.
Withdraw.
We stepped a little bit too close, but that's fine, that's okay. That's absolutely fine.
March.
In fact, we could probably use this army now to deal with this army here and eliminate it once and for all from the field of battle. That'd be an excellent choice actually to move this army in. That's probably actually worked out in our favour. We've still got this army group here and here. We're still going to crush this pocket in here, but I think
target under siege, sir.
We might go in with. I think we'll go in with.
Settlement under siege.
We've got the cannon here. But I
Settlement
think
besieged.
the honour should go into Field Marshal Ernuk here with the support of Van Wyk here as support army. We know we can break this city now. Yes. Let's assault. Let's go into Stuttgart. To think that we almost lost Strasbourg and now we flipped it right around. We've opened the door. That battle last episode opened the door. Now we're going to kick that door in, my friends. We're going to kick it in. We've got Field Marshal Ernuk now. After the court martial, remember. And now, with a bit between his teeth, we're going to rip this city away from them. If we can get Munich, my goodness me, what a prize that would be. But let's focus. Let's focus on what we've got in front of us here. Oh, now then. That was quite... Oh, look at this. Look at this overview we got here. Oh, the topography of this battlefield is a wonder. But this divides us here. This sort of hamlet, this village, is going to cause us a few problems, especially if we're attacking. So we've basically got this section here, which is free. Now we've got to play this very, very carefully here, because we don't want to get bogged down in this city here, trying to weave our way through this sort of spider's web of sort of roads. That's going to really break up our momentum. We've also got the cannon here, so we're not breaking into any forts. That's excellent. We've got the Royal Cuirassiers. I've got the Connaught Rifles. I think we might move around. Where's the demarcation line? Oh, it's really close here. We've got a very narrow corridor which will feed through these cavalry, but I think we might just put the 17th Royal here. And look at that. I mean, look at that. Look at it. It's a wonder. Now, the 17th Royal there, that's a real brutish. We might even put the 18th with them as long they're sort of sister regiments, as it were. Look at that. Now, we're going to take them off fire at will for definite. We're going melee mode only. Those who may be thinking, well, Mala, why are you taking off this? If you saw my sort of ability to control cavalry anyway is not that good, but for them to be able to firing as well, it'll be horrific to watch. It really will. But I think we're going to have to, because that's a long way for us to fire into. I think we'll bring gentlemen, please. Thank you. Oh, the snow's starting to fall as well. Now, if we leave the artillery up here, what's our...
Yes, sir. Orders. Sir. Artillery reporting.
what's the quicklime is a... Oh, actually the quicklime has got a good... Oh, that's an excellent, wonderful field of view there. If we leave the artillery at the top here, with perhaps some regiments to guard it, just in case they're trying to flank around here, we've got the Connaught Rifles. We've also got the Marines here. It looks like we're going to have to go pretty right heavy here in terms of our attacking or assault. But we are going to have a defensive line. As you can see, we've got this sort of cliff here, which they can, of course, come up. What we will do is we'll just drop them back just a smidgen. Now, what's their fire art? They're still pretty... that's actually excellent, actually. Now, these gentlemen here we'll put into... we'll group them here for better fire support and better control. And then these gentlemen here... oh, look at that canister. Shrapnel shot. Wonderful, sir. Now, we've got the Connaught Rifles, which I'd like to have in the attack, if I'm absolutely honest with you. Oh, I mean, look at that. We've got the 4th lights. We've got 2 lots of Connaught Rifles here. 3 lots, I beg your pardon. Now, we're definitely going to be using these gentlemen here, these Marines, to attack. That's going to be an absolute given. I think we'll have 21st Foot as our main defensive line here. Because they may move against us. There's every chance they're going to move against us, actually. So we need to be prepared for that. We might have to use the Connaught rifles to sort of hold the line, as it were. I think what we'll do is we'll send one Connaught. We'll send out this Marine force here of these 3rd, 6th, 14th foots of Marine out here on the extreme right flank here with cavalry. Remember, that's a brutish force there, sir. It really is a monstrous force. Look at that. I mean, that's enough to make it quick. Look at that. Oh my goodness. Oh, please. Look at those. Cuirassier, of course. Got another horse guards here. I think we'll keep one regiment of Cuirassier back here, as sort of just to make sure we got these flanks protected as well. But the remainder will be moving out with a Marine force here. We'll have the Connaught rifles as well. I think we'll set them fair. We'll set this. They're going to have to step up to the plate here, the Connaughts. I wonder if we just put this force here and then put a Connaught rifle regiment here. That's more like it, so look at that. We'll have these two, the 7th Marine Regiment, I beg your pardon, on this flank to protect it. And we'll have the 13th on this flank here. Now this is going to be a little bit dramatic here. Right up to the house there. We've got to protect this fire support. We've also got these here on this flank here. Set back here. Gentlemen, please. That's more like it. We've also got this regiment of Cuirassier, which we'll just keep back here. We've also got our general here, of course, Field Marshal, I beg your pardon, Field Marshal Ernuk here. There's a small defensive position, but primarily we've got the guards here as well. And do we send the guards out with the Marines? I don't think so. I think we'll try and keep the Marines as the primary strike force. We'll keep the guards in place here as well. We've got a good defensive line. We want to send out some Connaught Rangers with them as well. I think we'll send out 2 regiments of Connaught Rangers, just to give us that sort of scouting ability up front.
Yes, sir.
Now, that's a nice strike force here as well, with 3 regiments here. That's much more like it, sir. Now, it's going to be a brutal battle. We've got to wrestle the city away from them. Let's begin. Oh, that's a brute, sir. That's an absolute brute. What we are going to do is we're going to move these forces up here in one coherent whole. They're going to hit this flank real hard here, so we're just going to oh, look at that. We're gonna feed ourselves down this flank here. Here they come, here they come. The Winter's ours! Oh my goodness me, they're magnificent, look at that. Look at that, none of them get enough, my goodness me, they are absolutely a magnificent force. clear them, lads. Let's clear the flanks. Oh, that's more like it. So. Into them. Let's clear this. Let's clear it, lads. What do they expect? What do they expect, sir? Get into them, lads. Clear this force, let's clear it. Get them back to the front line here. Don't just stand there, lads. This cavalry's been an absolute joy to see. I'm going to clear this entirety out here, I can assure you. Look at this. Oh, the Field Marshal is having a field day. Oh, look at that. Absolutely eviscerated. Oh, gentlemen, back to where you were. Don't lose any more Marines, thank you very much. Back. Of course they're losing slightly, sir. Let's be out of here, sir. Oh, this charge is going to be a monstrous hit, sir. Oh, they didn't stand a chance. The city of Strasbourg has been cleared. Ceasefire. Ceasefire, lads. Oh, we've absolutely eliminated an entire army here. It never stood a chance. The battle area of Strasbourg has opened up a huge opportunity for us here. And these Marines here on this flank have done exemplary, sir. Look at that. Yes, of course. Let's end the battle. That was a wonder, sir. That was an absolute wonder. The city should now fall to us. Look at that. We lost 574. They lost 2,871. They haven't a single man left here. Absolutely. Look at that. Horse guards. The Cuirassiers. The Marines. Wonderful. The Field Marshal has now conquered Stuttgart. Look at that. That was a wonder. Württemberg in British hands. Mention dispatches, sir. +1 to morale in battles. What do we have here in terms of... Oh my goodness me. -1, +3 to command, leading infantry. -1, but still superior, +2 to command. +2 to morale, +1, and +1. That is absolutely fantastic, sir. It's ours, under British control. We shall repair, of course. We shall also make sure this army is at full strength with immediate effect. Not too bad, actually. We came out of that fight pretty well there. We've also got
Ready and awaiting orders.
General Van Wyck as well, waiting in the wings, just in case the Poles do make a move against us. They do have quite a sizable force, of course, in Munich here. They're probably obviously going to move against us here to take this back, try and take this back. We've got everything here we can possibly need. So what I think we might do is just make sure that this is gone. Now we do need to collapse in this here. This pocket here needs to be collapsed. And we need to remove all of these forces. And I think for that purpose there we do have General Charles here. And we do have General Chad Smith. General Chris Zawosky here. So we will eliminate this force here. This will actually give us into Berlin, but that's probably going to be highly defended there. We need to collapse this pocket. We need to push in against Munich here. We've also, of course, got this fort fight here, which we're going to take in a moment. I'll probably drag in these 2, possibly even 3 Spanish forces here. It's going to be a real tough fight, that is, I can assure you. I've also got to deal with this Spanish force down here. Can we actually move this? No, yeah, we could actually move. But ideally, we'd like to ambush this Spanish force as it moves closer. We'd like to ambush it. We've also got this force here, which is almost complete. Now, what do we have here? Ho, ho, ho. Now, I think we'll put these 2 howitzers in here. This is more of a sort of no, there was a recommendation by one of the council. We actually use sort of a special operations force moved behind the lines. This would be ideal. This force is made up of sort of the light infantry, lancers, horse grenadier guards, to sort of strike behind enemy lines. Now, moving behind enemy lines would be an absolute wonderful idea. Perhaps to harass the Spanish. I think that probably the best thing to do is get this army. Why have we got the archer in there when we probably need it in the...
Yes, Your Majesty.
We can't move it out because of this here. But that's got nowhere to go. That army with this fleet would be utterly crushed because we've got all our firepower here. But we are going to move against... We do need to move against... Probably against the Spanish at some point. But look at that. We've taken Stuttgart. What a wonder.
Sir, your orders?
The Field Marshal. What a wonderful sight. I think we'll take this fight here. We'll actually try and drag in these forces here if possible.
Make ready.
Got General Melder Greek here.
Sir. Ready and awaiting
We might use this force here to move in against them. First forward, let's just move ourselves forward. Oh ho ho! We've triggered that battle there. This force is not good enough here. But it would bring in these here. Ideally, that's a fight we don't want to take just yet. We don't have the. No, we'll just have to. Again, we're gonna have to retreat again. So we know now we can't take that fight. So we're gonna have to just take this fight square on here.
You're humble, sir. Forwards! March! Victory will be ours.
Okay, that's not too bad. It's only 441 here. I think we'll take this fight. Look at that, what a force. General Charles here. A wonderful general, an excellent council member, exemplary council member here. I think we'll take that fight. Let's take this fight. We've got to clear this sort of flank here. It's the right time. We can bring that other force. We sort of have to retreat. We can bring that back. We're gonna try and aim for Munich here. Try and clear that entire flank, and just push down towards Munich. Sort of gather that pace towards Munich, and try and clear everything we can out of here. Clear all the Polish forces out. If we could take Munich, we might super peace just to give ourselves that breathing space to regroup, replenish. But if we see things that are going in our favour, then we will of course carry on. Now we're going to utterly avoid this area here. I mean, look at it. That'd be an absolute catastrophe if we try to fight in this part here. This is the area we're going to use here. Look at the topography. We've got more than enough ground here to fight. It's a huge, huge deployment zone. That is massive. My goodness me. We've got massive amounts of fire support. This fire support is exemplary. Lots of cavalry as well. Wonderful. It's a really well balanced army this is, but my goodness me, the fire support we've got here is exceptional. Now, let's immediately get our howitzers ready. I think we'll set them here, just so we've got a good width, so we can actually hit this here as well. Let's make sure we've got quicklime here. It's going to actually sink into here. Where's the quicklime going to move up to? Is it going to go past this? I can't actually see where that's very odd, but it might. Actually no. Oh, well, that's where we're gonna have the the forces. We've got lots of cavalry as well. Thankfully, we've even got lancers, which are brutes, and we've got these Royal Cuirassiers, which are going to be the backbone of our assault. We are going to assault them. We might put these Royal Cuirassiers here, right at the flank here. As you can see, our sort of deployment zone goes way past there, which is excellent. I think we'll bring these gentlemen into here. Last time they absolutely just butchered everything in their path in Stuttgart. We'll use these gentlemen here to strike again at the flanks. No Lancer Guard set, not a chance. General Charles. Oh, that's a wonder. Put them back here. You're going to probably have to be dashing off in a moment, my friends. You probably know why. As you can probably hear in the background. And we've also got here the 24 pounders, which are probably, I think we might put into the main defensive line. Because these, I think we might strike against them as well using this marine group here. So we might strike against them on the flanks here, using the marine group here, moving along here and sort of just trying to really put the pressure on one of their flanks. I think we might put this marine grouping here, this marine attack force here, and move along here if we have to. Try and roll them up from one of the flanks if possible. Excuse me a second, my friends. Let's get this defensive line set up here. I think we'll use the 80th Regiment here. So sort of main vanguard here. And of course then the 81st sister unit here. Got the F. I think we'll use the 24th here. I think we've got more than enough defence. Of course we've got that other reserve army coming in as well. We have to be very careful what we're doing there with that. I think we just might put the 24 pounders in here. Gentlemen, please. That's more like it. We have to be careful of our flanks here, just in case the Poles come in on the flank. So what we'll do is we'll put the 18th Marines here. We'll also have the 22nd here on the flank, just to guard against any particular machinations of the Poles. I did like to send in, I think about this Marine. I'd like to send this 18th Regiment over here with their brothers over here. Obviously he doesn't want to join them just yet. Perfect. Got the Lancers as well. We'll have the Lancers guarding here as well. We'll keep these. I think we've probably got enough, to be honest with you. I'd like to keep one Marine. Actually, we've got these Marines here as well. I think we'll keep these 2 Marines just to guard our flanks here. We'll have this Marine Regiment here, the 23rd, just to guard, just in case the Polish reserve force comes in. And again, similarly, the 22nd, just guarding our flanks here, just making sure we've got everything just as it should be. The Lancers here, we'll pull the Lancers back. And we'll pull back the 22nd here as well, just to make sure we're completely covered here in every possible position they can throw. I know we've got this here. If they move through here, then that's up to them, but that'll break their position up here. We've got this strike force, so we move out here. That gentleman. Thank you. Let's get this force here. They do have quite a bit of cannon, I believe. Now, are we ready to move out here? We are indeed. We've got these gentlemen here in the vanguard. We've got shrapnel shot here. Who's going to hit them? There's shrapnel shot here. That's excellent. What about? That must be way off the scale there. That's excellent. So we'll do shrapnel shot here as well. Let's give them a real good pasting to start with. Right, let's begin. Oh, that's a real heavy. Look at that. We've thrown our entire force over in this flank here. My goodness me. Actually, they're shifting their weight. Which means we can actually move against them now, gentlemen. Just going to make sure. Got to push this flank in. Got 4 regiments here. Marines moving in. Oh, they're not unlimbered. What a complete fool, sir. That's wasted valuable time. That's a mistake. That's a rookie mistake, sir. But remain calm. These mistakes happen. Oh, no. More mortars, sir. Give them what for, sir. Oh, that's more like it. Let's get the Marines going. Damn, these mortars are absolute strikes here. Come on, let's give him a good pasting here now. Into the lads, pick them off. That was a sneaky attack there, sir. Oh, they've gone. Shatter them, lads. Oh, that's a wonderful shot. Oh, that's a sight you want to see every day of the week, sir. Ah, it must be the reinforcements. That's why it's swarming them, lads. Get in there. What did you think would happen? Right, time to release the lancers. Oh, we blitzed this line here. One more, my friends. Sorry about that, my friends. This is an absolute brute, sir. There's the reserves. Get back, lads. That's an order. That's a joy to see. Oh, we've mopped up this entire battlefield. The Poles have absolutely suffered a massive defeat here. Excuse the noise in the background, my friends. You can probably gather who that might be. Oh, we've dealt with these absolutely gloriously here, sir. Gloriously here. They did not stand a chance. Did not stand a chance, sir. We've swept up everything in its path. Look at this. These cavalry's done an absolutely wonderful fall. Look at this. They've been at everything. The entire Polish force has been obliterated here on both flanks. Oh yes! Now that, my friends, was a terrific episode, a terrific series of fights there. Look at that. We lost 602. They lost an entire force of 2,500. They cannot keep these losses up. Look at the Lancers here. The Marines, absolutely fantastic. Look at that. We're getting closer to taking and moving against Munich here. Now we clear this flank almost entirely here. We have to move this force in to deal with these here. And deal with the remainder here. But once we've cleared this flank, we can move these forces down and start to besiege Munich, which will be an absolute huge loss for them. But my friends, I'm going to end this episode here. I hope you've enjoyed this episode. If you have, as always, my friends, please keep your comments coming down below. And as always, my friends, please be safe whatever you're doing. Be careful out there. But until next time, bye for now.